Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Slayer: The Legend of Heroes. In the last part, we freed our home kingdom of Firelane from Drax, and he's on the run, so now we're chasing him down. But like I mentioned, between parts, I did some grinding. We're now at about level 15. That takes a lot less time to get to than levels back in Firelane, because the enemies around here do get better experience. Speaking of new enemies, we got two new ones here. The Crawbeaks there are things you should target first if they're with other enemies, because not only do they have a cure spell, I believe they have a physical attack that can put you to sleep for a little bit. Stinger's not a lot to write home about. I think they might have an attack that can inflict venom on you, but they die usually in one shot, so they don't get much of a chance to do that overall. So for now, our goal is to just wander, because we got advice that Drax generally headed towards the southwest from here, but we want to make a stop here at this Elder Hut. Welcome, strangers. Wonder that you've come all this way. I have ancient magic you can use in war, but it isn't free. I might teach you my spells if you're clever enough. You must first best me in my game of changing rocks. Shall we play the game now? Good, we can begin. I'll explain it first. There are white and black rocks we take turns placing on my tablet. The winner is the one with the most rocks at the end. So this is just Othello, or I think it's also called Reversi in some territories. Brass tacks, you each place down one piece per turn, but if a player places pieces with enemy pieces between them, they get converted to their color. Your goal is to just have as many at the end of the game as you can. Thankfully, you don't need to win this in order to get the spells from Bartholomew here. He just wants to play a game with you. And that's really good for me because I suck at Othello. I have not played this enough to have any kind of competency in it. All I know is try your best to be the one that grabs the corners, which can be hard if you're playing against an AI that knows what it's doing. Let's count the pieces, eh? There's 19 whites, there's 45 blacks. Hey, you see now how sharp my mind is. I'm a fair man, you can use help, and my spells are useful knowledge. As a special favor, I'll give you magic. So we got some good things here. The most notable ones are slow 2 as well as the level 2 elemental magics. We also got Waste and Psycho here. I don't use these too much, but they're good for just prolonging your stays, doing level grinding. Waste is an HP draining spell that drains the HP from the enemy into you, whereas Psycho is Osmos, basically, from Final Fantasy. It saps away the enemy's MP into your own, and every level of that spell costs 0 MP, so it's good to have that along for the long term, even if I don't use it a lot. For now, we want to head into the Red Cave. This is an optional area, but you might remember that back in the last town, someone was mentioning their son was kidnapped, and this is where we want to go save them. By and large, the enemies here are the same ones you can encounter out in the overworld, including these who we haven't seen yet. These are imps. I hate imps because they're super annoying. They don't got a lot of HP. What they do is, if they're at full HP, they're very likely to cast Sleep 1. If they're not at full HP, they'll cast Cure 1, recovering exactly 100 to the target imp. But when everyone on your party is asleep, they'll start mass casting Venom to just try and get you instant killed and stun locked with sleep as long as they can. It's rough. And you're fighting them for most of this chapter, so get used to them. But we did get the Sun Wand there. I keep this around for a while, but honestly I just recommend selling this because it's good for a lot of gold. That has a 1 in 3 chance to cast the Sleep 3 spell when you use it as a physical weapon. It's one of the first of the several of the rod type weapons that do that. They cast a level 3 spell just by physically attacking. Most of them aren't that useful. There's only really 2 I'd say that are useful in the long run.
What be this foul odor? Be the smell of human flesh? Ah, it must be dinner time.
Time to fight the Gar Master. This is actually not too bad of a mini-boss. You can tell because it actually has the normal battle theme. Use Leech and Slow on it a couple times, then just go hitting it hard. Uses some flame magic, but it's not going to do a lot of damage at this point. You actually fight slightly stronger variants of this thing as a normal enemy later on in this area of the game, so not a lot to worry about. And hey, a free Lion Blade for that. And the Tyrant to Port Eric is annihilated. And this was worth the effort to go all the way in here for reasons. Experience chief amongst it. You came to help me. Am I ever glad to see you? I'm Billy. That Gar Master was keeping me here. He sure was ugly. And he had bad breath, too. I hope he never comes back. Have you seen my father? Wait till he hears this. I better get out of here. Come to my house in Port Eric. Alright, we'll check that out in a second. Make sure to grab this chest before you leave, by the way. So the imps are notable in that they actually do drop one of the 2 rods I find to be really worth using, the healing rod. It's only a chance of being dropped, but using it, you attack your allies to heal them for 100 HP, which at this point in the game is still substantial enough to be worth it, I'd say. Are you the ones who went looking for my son? Your bravery saved young Bill. I wasn't afraid of old Gargle Guts. He was ugly, though. You really risked your necks. Please stay with us. So, for helping out Billy, we get ourselves a free inn here in Port Eric. My money!
I hate to bring this subject up, but it looks like somebody's been in my purse.
Why is everybody looking at me?
Nobody's accusing you, Giles.
Say what? I think it's pretty obvious who the thief around here is.
Prove it, slime bait.
Proof? Who needs it? I just don't trust you. For all we know, you might be working for Drax.
Hold your tongue, Marcus. You're way out of line.
Well, pardon me, your royalness, but I ain't big-hearted enough to let this thief rob me blind.
That's it. I've had enough. I should have known better than to team up with a bunch of losers. When you face Drax the next time, you're just gonna have to do it without me.
Giles, wait.
Sorry, Highness. I'm history.
Giles!
No, my favorite party member, no! At least I guess with the levels we got between parts, I'm gonna be good with just the 3 party members. Notably though, before I entered the town, I did unequip all of his stuff to give to the next party member that joins us, so you might want to do that, but it's not too essential all the same. Good for selling overall. So now we just need to kind of roam around the continent, and this is the Seeker Eye. We got one of these back at Castle Sylvan last part. It allows you to take a look at a mini-map, and you can scroll around and see where you need to go next. Our goal in particular is these 2 areas on screen right now. The town at the tip of the peninsula, as well as the one just slightly over the bridge from it. So we need to head southwest and then to the east to get there. And I might as well use a telelens as well to mark where all the enemies are. This is really good for avoiding enemies, but I don't really think it's that essential because you're probably going to want to get experience down the line anyway. Telelenses like this are most useful when you're trying to blitz your way through to the nearest town that has really good equipment upgrades without having to fight things that could kill you pretty quickly overall. And here's Fort Muir. It's got a lot of imps. 4 fights against them in particular. You need to clear all 4 in order to actually have access to the town. I'm only showing the first one of these just to mark that it is here. If you're having trouble with these fights at this point, I actually recommend just running away and re-entering the fights, because while that doesn't restore your HP, it gets rid of the sleep status ailment, and it gives their sleeping spells a chance of failing on the next chance. And plus it also resets the turn order, so for all you know, you might get more turns in and say only have 1 imp left alive to try and hit you with sleep before they even get a turn in. Yeah, we need to do 4 of these fights, so we're just gonna cut past the other 3. And I believe in one of these I got a healing rod. The imps are driven off and Fort Muir is saved. Cool. Can I buy stuff here now? I'll take that extra experience points though. Yes, I did get a healing rod. I hold on to that and the Sun Wand, I believe, for a while, but especially if you get multiple healing rods, I just recommend selling them all off because they're really good for cash. You guys finished off all the imps? Dang, that's great. Hang on, I'll unbar the gate. So, Fort Muir, I think you do need to visit here before you go to anywhere else in the continent to trigger certain event flags, but we're going to be coming back here pretty often, so get used to its layout. You really gave those imps a hard day's night. Goody. First a Paul, now a John. I'm feeling like there's a trend. It's probably nothing. It's weird. Have you ever been over west to Grimwolf Town? That's the only place that hasn't been besieged by imps. No, I haven't, but given how sparse the towns are in this, I'm assuming we're going to be heading over there pretty shortly. Hi, you're the new champions everyone's talking about. My name's Daniel. I grew up near Grimwolf. I have to ask you a question. Have you ever heard of this magic calm? It's a mighty spell. Yes, we fought a heartless dog who knew that spell. Wow, I've been trying all over to find the calm magic. I just returned from Norland. This dragon priestess there gave me a great tip. She said to check out Wind Tower, just north of here. The spell's in Windguard. That is tempting, as well it really did prevent us from doing a lot in the commander fight. If we have the opportunity to use that ourselves to prevent enemies from doing certain attacks, or making it so that enemies can only do physical attacks past a certain point after buffing ourselves, that could be useful. I say, a good thing for us that you came along. Those imps had our backs to the wall. No one could face their sleep powers. Seeker, it's been a nightmare. But the fort's safe for now. I know how tiring battles are. You can rest here anytime. You noticing a trend on inns being free in this game? A little weird. Still, Fort Mir is saved for now, so we can move on to our next destination, which is towards the west. This is particularly where you want to avoid some of the enemies if you are a lower level, because this is an entirely new set of enemies from here, and they are a lot hardier with their defenses and attacks, so be careful. Welcome to Grimwolf. This place was notably spared from attacks for some reason, so let's see what's going on. There's news from Fairlane. A madman was chased away by a hero, and now there's no more beasts. If only Windguard were free. Hey, I'm working on it. Hey, you, get out of my house. What's your problem? There's always that one NPC that makes fun of the fact you do that, and based on the fact that the US version of this game came out 30 years ago next year, we've been doing that for a while. So our main goal here in Grimwolf, item-wise, we want to get 3 each of the Iron Lances and Line Armor and Shields, as they are the best equipment we're going to be able to get for a while here. If you start running low on money from buying these, just sell whatever you had beforehand, because that should make up the rest of the money. The game does pretty good about making it so that the equipment varies in cost, where it's usually like the weapons are more expensive than the body armors are more expensive than the shields. So if you wanted to, you could just start upgrading with the shields and then move up from there to try and make the most of your money, but it's not a lot to worry about all the same, and it doesn't take too long to get money. And here we are with everyone upgraded to what we can get from here.
I don't recognize any of you, gang. You're not from Grimwolf. My guess is you're looking for magic. Maybe the famed calm spell that secret's hidden in Wind Tower lost forever. That's plain as day. But nobody can get in there with all these monsters around. Take it from me, Mayor Walter of Grimwolf.
Notably, though, one of the more annoying event flags in the game to trigger is here, and we'll talk about that in a moment. It's a long and winding road. Go with the Seeker. George, John, and Paul, I'm really sensing a trend here, guys. Hey there, folks, you look smart. I need a hand. Me and my mate Darwin from Fort Mir are in business together. I want a new idea, something that'll sweep the land and cause a sensation. Maybe King Rowan will hear. So keep your eyes open for new ideas, eh? Okay, sure. The event flag in question, though, is walking around the mayor's house until he tells you to just bug off, because that will trigger an event flag when we head back here to Fort Mir after talking to him and Darwin's friend. Because now that we're back here in Fort Mir, you might take a look around and notice Darwin's missing, which is a little odd. How you doing, Daniel? Hey guys, I checked out the tower. It's freaky in there. I found a door to an upper room, but the place is sealed shut. I need some kind of key. Do you think the calm spell is really up there? Probably, if it's that well kept up. And from here, we need to leave the town to trigger the next event flag. But it takes me a while to realize this, so I'm just gonna jump cut to it kind of awkwardly. In fact, I think I had to backtrack over to Grimwolf to go investigate the part of the mayor's house, which causes just some weirdness. This game's got a little bit of this overall. To arms! To arms! Grimwolf is under attack! Yeah! Oh boy. Great. So yeah, we had to backtrack back and forth all over the place to have that happen. It's a little awkward, and the game's full of that, honestly. We need help! Oh, Seeker, Grimwolf will be overrun. But if I send the defenders from here, I'll be wide open. Fort Mir doesn't have an army. We can't help you. The nightmare's at Grimwolf now. I can't take it. So I guess beasts are attacking Grimwolf finally. And you might think we should go investigate that. But no. The first thing we want to do is head towards Wind Tower and investigate that entire area. Also, we got some new enemies here, Mantatax. Despite having a really cool sprite, they're not a lot to write home about. They physically attack you. I don't think they can inflict any status ailments. Even if they can, it's not like it really matters in the long run. What is annoying around here, though, are armor trolls. As their name dictates, they have high defense to begin with. And if memory serves, they can also cast the guard spell on themselves to boost those defenses even higher. If not, they cast Leech on you, which doesn't make as much sense with the name. Whenever you run into this formation that's got the Imp, I recommend targeting the Imp first to remove the sleep status as a threat, let alone it's curing the armor trolls it's with. But on our way to the tower, we got ourselves here at the Grey Oaks, another one of these little houses with just another sage in it. Come in, you've done well to journey here. I have secrets to tell. I teach spells to pilgrims who can handle knowledge. I'm a devoted scholar, so there's no need to play strange games. Any spell is yours. And we got a lot of good stuff here. We got Cure 2, which we're going to want to upgrade for everyone. Level 2 for each of the main buff spells. But we also notably have the Warp 1 spell. That takes you back to the last town you visited like a Warp Quill does. It's a little limiting, but it also allows you to just exit out of caves without having to actively walk out, so it's pretty useful in the long run. Here we are in Wind Tower, though, where every single enemy is a gremlin. 300 HP, but they don't hurt too bad, even if you didn't do all the grinding I did between parts. So it's not a bad place probably to come to do some grinding. They also drop light blades, which I think are just weaker than iron lances, but they're overall good in case you didn't get iron lances yet. They're better overall for selling, as a lot of items are. There's a lot of equipment in this game that's just not too useful. I can think of at least 2 particular lines that look fancy and are expensive, but aren't worth the time you would have them overall. Something pretty handy, by the way. Basically, every dungeon in the game is pretty small, barring like 1 or 2 instances. And even then, you can save and load a save anywhere, so you don't have to worry about wasting a lot of resources if you save regularly enough on different slots. The huge portal is sealed. Only a keyhole breaks its smooth surface. We do actually need to investigate that door to trigger an event flag for something coming up, so I figured I might as well do that before heading over to Grimwolf. Speaking of which, that place is under attack, so we should probably head over there immediately. Oh god, more imps! Yikes, help me! Alright, sure, let me just try and catch the imp here. There's a lot more imps here. I'm only showing this one fight to show, hey, it's more imps. Got like 3 or 4 more fights to do against these to begin with. I do want to slightly apologize for the pace that the game has throughout the LP because I am cutting from town to town a lot. Down the line, we're going to have a way to teleport between towns anyway, but here in the early game, it probably is a little confusing to just see me leave a town and then immediately be somewhere else. Thankfully, if you ever get lost, there are full world maps of the game on GameFAQs, which I recommend using along the way. But here we got a Sentinel. This is sort of the upgraded version of the soldiers from Sylvan. And you can run into them as a random encounter just outside of Grimwolf as well. They're more or less the same as the fights from back then, though. Decently high physical attack and defense. In particular, they seem to really like to just focus on one party member at a time and just hammer them down until they die. And I think the ones back at Sylvan do roughly the same thing. So as soon as you can identify who they're targeting, just focus on healing them while everyone else just physically attacks, and it should go down pretty quickly. They can also drop their glaives as an item drop, which isn't too useful for damage, but it's good for selling.
Drax, I thought I smelled a rat when I heard Grimwolf was under siege by monsters.
If it isn't the late Corwin's meddlesome offspring. I didn't think our paths would cross this soon. You don't know how much I've looked forward to this. For this day, I will rid myself of you once and for all.
Dream on, Drax. For even if my destiny is to fall this day, I solemnly swear that I'll take you down with me.
We will see, boy. We will see.
Is that right? Then let's get to it. Drax doesn't have a lot of HP, but that's because he's nigh impossible to hit and only has 1 attack, which is Coma 4. A spell we can actually never learn at that level, an instant kill spell. I think that hits 100% of the time. Not a chance is correct. This is a story fight. What did I tell you? You're doomed. Well, that's a game over. I guess this is where we roll credits. They'll be on their feet again soon. You've been a great help, brother. I can take it from here. Huh? Where am I? You're safe now, back in Fort Muir. I say, you took a great risk in Grimwolf. Yeah, I remember. Drax was there. We went after him. We were shocked to find you all hit by Coma. But who brought us back here? The gate sentries were the only ones to see the guy. Well, we should probably go talk to him then. Ouch! I hurt everywhere. Ow! Ow! You're not ready to get up. Rest now. I mean, hey, I'll take a free in. It's not like it already wasn't that to begin with. With that guy, Drax and Grimwolf were really pinned down. These folks risked their skins for us. Come on, Cameron, send Gruff Fighters to Grimwolf. I doubt they'd be able to do much against him anyway. Hey guys, I'm glad you're on your feet again. It was strange when that guy brought you here. He didn't say much. He was in a real hurry and dashed off without even giving his name. Odd. But now we can talk to Darwin that we rescued him. Welcome, friends. Nice to see you again. I'm grateful that you risked your lives in Grimwolf. I don't meet heroes every day. If I can ever help you out in some way, just ask, okay? Anyway, I made a fresh start. I'm a locksmith now. Don't suppose you need a key made. A key? By the Seeker. We need the key for the tower. No problem. I can cut keys for any kind of lock. But I need a mold to work with, a clay mold. Take this to the lock, and from the shape, I'll cut you a key. So now, we need to go all the way back to the top of the Wind Tower. to make the mold for the key, and then come back here, give him the mold, and go back up here again to open the door. It's annoying, I know. I'll stuff the clay into the keyhole. Great mold, huh? This game's full of this kind of back and forth stuff. Thankfully, by now, we have Warp 1 to make it a little easier on our souls, but it's still pretty annoying and kind of padding. But, oh well, the game's still enjoyable despite it, and plus it's like the game's 30 years old plus to begin with. Hiya, friends, did you get the mold? We finally have it. I hope it's good. Ah, yes, it looks good, all right. You're in a hurry, so I'll get right to work. The key will be done tomorrow morning. Wait till then. With how often this game wants you to wait a day by using it in, it's a good thing most of them are free so far.
Prince Logan, wake up. It's Marcus. He's gone.
Gone? What do you mean, gone?
He's nowhere to be found. I searched everywhere but couldn't find hide nor hair of him. I can only assume that he's left us for good.
Wait a minute, let me check. Oh no. Doom's Tear, it's gone! Come on, Ethan. We've got to find Marcus.
Oh gosh dang it. Ah, you're awake! Yes, but I'm worried about where our friend Marcus went. Him? I say I'm going to Darwin's store. I smell a rat. Let's go, Ethan. Marcus, I swear to God you were a good mage, man. Excuse me, have you seen our friend Marcus? Marcus, you don't mean the rude guy in the red mantle? He came by earlier and asking for the key, so I gave it to him. Oh no, you gave him the key? Yes, yes, did I do wrong? This is terrible. Did you at least see which way he headed? He left the fort in a hurry. Where, I can't tell you. Not good for nothing. Prince, he must be heading for Wind Tower. We may catch him if we're quick. Yes, you must be right. Let's go. Notably, though, like when Giles left earlier, I did unequip all of Marcus's equipment before that scene happened. I'm not sure what happens if you didn't get Doom's Tear from your mother earlier, but I think you have to progress the plot anyway, so It's a stone monument with some engraving on it. But the main piece of engraving is chipped away. Daniel, you must be tough. Gremlins can really hurt a guy. You guys made it too. This place gives me the creeps. I only came back because Darwin said he could form a key from this clay. But look, this stone had an engraving. For sure it was the calm spell. Someone chipped it out. It's ruined. And it looks fresh. It had to be Marcus. Marcus? But he was your friend. Where is the idiot? I'd like to find him too. We need this spell. Without the calm magic, we can't face Drax. Ethan, look, someone's there. Ah, the prince. Giles, it's you. Where have you been? Here and there. I'm a bit sorry to meet you, though. We were led astray, victims of someone's evil designs. Suspecting you was out of line. Marcus helped himself. No kidding. It's been eating at me, too. But for now, feast your eyes on this. By the Seeker, the stone chip. It's the missing chip from the engraving. Where'd you get it? There's a story behind that. I was steaming when I left Port Eric, but after I cooled off, I saw that it wasn't so strange that you wondered about me. Marcus is rude, he was messing with us. So I tagged along at a distance to watch. It was you who saved our skins at Grimwolf. I was worried when Drax KO'd you so fast. I got you out. I saw Marcus slink around this morning. I shouted him here and saw what he did to the stone block. When he threw this chip in the dirt, I grabbed it. If this really is the calm spell, Drax is at our mercy. But Giles, what will you do? Won't you come with us? I always wanted to help you beat up bad guys. Let's make for Grimwolf. Right, all for one and one for all. Logan fits the chip back in. The engraving is complete. It is calm. So now we get ourselves the calm spell, the only version of it in the game. Put this on everyone for now. Down the line, you're probably only going to want it on like 2 people at most. But it's going to be essential for boss fights. And with Giles back in our party, I can now put on him Marcus's equipment that I took off of him before he left. But now we can head back to Grimwolf and take care of Drax. I can't believe my search is over. The great calm spell. This turned into a great day. Let's get out in one piece. And thankfully, we can just use the warp spell to get out of here. It is kind of annoying they make you come up and down this tower, technically if you don't have the warp spell on like 4 times total, but at least it's pretty short and the enemies aren't much to write home about. But now that we're back in Grimwolf, we have more imps to take care of, and I just killed all the ones in the town off screen there in a real quick jump cut just because it's imps. Even though they only were introduced this part, you're used to them by this point if you're playing along. Same with Sentinels overall.
Foolish child. Haven't you learned that you've met your match?
Is that right? Then let's get at it. So, use the calm spell immediately because we don't want any more coma fours being thrown our way. Still can't easily hit him though.
That spell, that accursed spell. There's a time to fight and a time to run. Right now, wisdom dictates that I choose to run. Till we meet again, son of Corwin.
Yay! I guess we won. But you might notice the threatening music is still playing because we need to find where all the people in Grimwolf went, and that's kind of weird to find them because this is like the only time in the game, like 1 or 2 times now I think about it, you can actively push stuff in the environment. Because, here's everyone.
Look who's here! Did the imps capture you too?
No, Mayor Walter, Drax has fled. The town is yours again.
No way!
Yes way.
Freedom at last!
Hey, that looks like Marcus over there.
That Drax fella beat him bad.
Seeker, those bruises look painful. Ow, who's there? Ethan, Prince Logan, Giles? Marcus, Doom's tier, where is it? That fiend Drax took it. Ouch. But Marcus, why have you betrayed us? It was Drax. He paid me to spy on you. Prince Logan, I have to explain. I set Giles up so you'd blame him. Then when you almost had the calm spell, I tried to stop you. You already figured that I took Doom's tear from you. When I handed it over to Drax, he went nuts, laughed, and had me whipped. He's really crazy. That's when I realized I was on the wrong team. But you risked your lives for others. And I betrayed you. I don't deserve your mercy.
That's plain as day. Let's get upstairs.
Drax is on the run. Grimwolf is free at last. Can peace be far? Well, let's see. Has the chapter title changed? If so, probably. It's still far.
We're safe here. Marcus can stay in my place.
Thank you for your help, Mayor. That Drax is still loose.
Where did the false king run to?
Maybe he's gone to Rockburg. He could hide in a big city.
That's plain as day, but I need a favor. My brother Matthew lives in Rockburg. The latest news is that the city was overrun. I'm plenty worried. Can you check and see if he's safe?
Well, check, but right now I'm exhausted.
Of course, plain as day. My house is yours.
Okay. What can I do? I'm too ashamed to move. No shit, Sherlock. Unfortunately, we are down a caster due to Marcus being down for the rest of the game, but having Giles back is going to be more than enough on top of the spells we've learned since.
So you're looking for adventure, eh? Try Cave Chris. Many brave souls have been lost therein. It's in the hills north of here, and it's the home to a vicious critter, the Beholder. None have succeeded in getting out with the treasures of the cave. Powerful weapons and armor.
And that you want to make that your next stop before we head to Rockburg, because level curve wise it's better and you get some decent stuff out of it. Speaking of level curve though, between parts I'm doing more grinding. This isn't as necessary as the grinding I've done prior to this. Level 17's more than enough for Cave Chris, I think. I'm getting to level 19 just to be ready for what's after Cave Chris more than anything. Though, speaking of which, if you're low on supplied torches, stock up to like 3 or 4. Not that you're gonna need them all for Cave Chris. It's just good to have that many so you don't need to stock up until later on. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 4, we're heading towards Cave Chris and Rockburg itself after I show off the stats from the new levels we've gained between parts. See you guys then.